Here's a word you're going to hear a lot, but hopefully not on this show. Dibs, if you want to go there, go there.
Are you calling the Lakers adorable?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Here's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I would like to remove a word from our show for the next 2.5 weeks.
Let me think what that word would be. You're going to remove a word.
Not using it.
It shouldn't be rivalry. I don't think you're going to remove rivalry because it's really not a rivalry in the traditional sense, but there is enough hatred for the Lakers, sports hatred, to where it feels like a rivalry.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of that. What do you think it is?
LeBron?
Because, it starts with L, but no, it's not LeBron. It's not LeBron.
Lacob?
Lackadaisical.
What do you think?
Password?
Looney?
What's on?
Totally.
No, we ain't never removing Looney. What's on the line in this series?
It's a legacy game.
Losing.
It's about a legacy.
Legacy.
My brother Mikey 1.0 before he came 2.0 when he was speaking at my father's. It was not an impromptu memorial, but it was. We went to Eureka for the race that bears his name now at the Ferndale Humboldt County Fair, and my brother talked about it being a legacy. It's about a legacy. It's a legacy.
Yeah.
It's a legacy.
It's not about a legacy at all.
Well, that was about a legacy.
Got it. Yes, that was.
Yeah, and he repeated it like 7 times just to drive the point home.
Make sure you heard
accidentally. But this is not about a legacy. If Steph beats LeBron, Steph greater than LeBron. His legacy is better.
Right. And if LeBron beats Steph, then what?
You're nobody, my dude.
Got it. Right. So
LeBron owns you again.
Thank you.
It's a legacy series.
Thank you, Hype Flicks on YouTube, who said, the word is legacy. Give me my tickets. Unfortunately, you don't get tickets, but you're right.
5 o'clock.
Tickets aren't coming until 5 o'clock.
And that actually might be a good little question, because we're going to ask a question after 5 o'clock. What does Mark Willard not want this series to be called?
If the conversation comes back up again at 5, which would be a conversation sensation, it would.
That's a buck.
Yep. And thank you, Tim Roy, for getting my daughter to her soccer game and getting me back with the Warriors completing a Game 7 win. But honestly, I don't want to use that word in this series. And for me, it is tied to why this series will sound different between the media. The bottom line is, whether there's rivalry, whether there's rooting, whatever you want, there's also respect. This is LeBron James and Steph Curry, and nobody's legacy is freaking going anywhere in this series. It's the second round. They've all got a truck full of championships. It's the 6 seed versus the 7 seed. We're on the way out the door. We're all just trying to squeeze the orange for whatever it's got from these two players. One of them's going to the conference finals, which is phenomenal for the NBA.
Right.
But nobody's legacy is going anywhere in this series. Period. Nobody's legacy is going anywhere. Does Steph kind of have a leg up in the head-to-head matchups? Sure.
3 out of 4.
Right, but Durant was also in a lot of those.
No, whatever.
Yeah, honestly, we can do this one's different.
So is J.R. Smith.
This is a legacy game.
This is not a legacy series. When this series is over, Steph Curry, what do we call him? The Miata? The most impressive player of all time?
Yes.
Whatever it is.
He's the GMO.
Thank you.
Most impressive of all time.
Most impressive.
Miota.
Right.
He's
there.
a Mazda Miota.
Miota. Okay. When this
He's the Mio.
When this series is over, he will still be a Mazda Miota. And LeBron will still be the second best player of all time, or first if you're nasty.
That's scandalous.
Okay? I mean, that's all this is.
I like what you're saying, and
nobody's going anywhere.
That's where you're wrong, because
How
if
so?
LeBron James wins this series and then goes on to beat Denver and goes on to win another NBA championship, his legacy. And I know you don't like to do this, Mark, and it pains me because it's Sports Talk 101.
But it's already
lists, rankings, and GOATs, and you don't like it. But if LeBron and the Lakers go on to win this series and they beat Denver or Phoenix and they beat Philly, Miami, the Knicks if they can wake themselves up, or Boston, if LeBron wins another chip, he has his own legacy built on the backs of this improbable chip.
First of all,
and that's a fact.
You're missing the strategy because the deal is by saying that you don't like to do it, you then just slip into doing it, which is exactly what we're doing.
I goad you.
Second
I'm the goat of goading. He's the goat.
Yeah, you are.
He's the goat.
You
Thank
are the
you.
goat.
I love to goat you.
You're the goat. You're the
I'm
goat
the
squared.
goat. I'm the
Anyway.
greatest goater of all time.
But
he's
here's
the goat.
If you think LeBron is better than MJ, you already think it. And this year is not going to do a damn thing to change it because you can easily
disagree.
No, you can.
This is Brady Montana. When Brady wins in Tampa Bay, all of the Joe Montana acolytes, you got to step back.
People were already gone. People were already
But the people that were holding on to it, he never lost a Super Bowl.
You honestly think Joe Montana-ites are now all admitting that Tom's the best? Like hell they are. No, they're not.
Well, now they have to go underground because
fine.
now you got nothing to say.
The point
like
is,
Ross Perot voters.
But are you telling me that if LeBron wins this title, the MJ people are going to go away? Are you crazy?
Oh, no, you go away.
Oh, no, they don't.
That gives LeBron, what, 6?
Bro,
or
this is
would that give him 6 or 5?
I wish you had hair
Not
because you're going
5,
to need to go to the
not
barbershop
6.
after this one because it is not going anywhere. So you can already make the LeBron case, and an MJ person is never going to get off that pedestal, ever, ever, ever. But my point is not even, you're kind of taking it to the positive. I was taking it in the other direction. Whoever loses this series, I don't want to hear a damn thing about how their legacy has been tarnished. That is ridiculous.
Oh, Steph falls out of the all-time top 10.
you.
Immediately.
Thanks.
Before the final dribble is even dribbled. Oh,
Exactly.
Steph, he's out.
Dribble.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you in terms of the tarnishing of a
Shut up
legacy.
and dribble, actually.
Yeah, thank you, LeBron. That actually worked.
go ahead.
It felt oddly personal. I don't think that the loser of this series, and again, it's team versus team. I don't think that the individual who loses this, I don't think their legacy is tarnished. But I do believe that the winner's legacy is burnished.
I guess.
It's not a burnish versus tarnish.
I don't know how much.
It's all burnish, no tarnish.
But how much higher can you go?
And no garnish.
How much higher can you go?
LeBron, one peg. Steph, Steph is still trying to clamber his way into the all-time top 10.
Well, is he?
According to many.
A lot of people think he's already there. That's my point.
What do you think? See what I did there?
Let's see.
Boy, that's a great question.
You don't do this, Mark.
Gosh, let me think.
Man, see, let me think.
Number one, I've got Uwe Blab.
He was great out of Indiana.
Number two,
Number one.
I've got Paul McKeskey.
Milwaukee Buck.
Yeah.
Good big man.
Number three is GP2.
How about GP1?
Yeah.
Man.
Number four is Troy Murphy.
I love Troy out of Notre Dame, 6'10", the lefty.
I got Steph at 5. Steph's at 5, right behind Troy Murphy.
No love for Mike Dunleavy
See if
Jr.?
he gets there. Well, we talked to him. It would sound like I was kissing up. All right, let's go.
You could put Steph in your all-time top 10 of
Just
son of an NBA player.
Whatever. There's absolutely nothing I've ever enjoyed watching.
He might
in
be the
basketball.
Gasot, by the way.
Yeah.
He might be the greatest son of all time.
Oh.
In terms of son of a
Oh.
player. He's the Gasot.
He's the
It'd
Gamote.
have to be,
Thank
right?
you.
Son of an NBA player, who's better?
Well, Mike Dunleavy Jr., the aforementioned friend of the program.
Like I said,
Son of a player.
it's true. He's come on more than Steph has.
GP2,
Yeah.
you son of a player.
Yeah.
Mike Conley, although his dad was an Olympic.
Mike Conley, number 27 on my list, all time.
I had him at 26.
Yeah,
let's debate.
Let's go to Pat in Foster City.
Let's do it.
Hey, Pat, you're on with Willard and Dibs. What are you doing?
Hey, thanks for taking the call. You know, I wanted to get your guys' take on something. You know, the Warriors, you know, they won all year primarily on offense. You know, defense kind of stunk, especially on the road. And yet they go into Sacramento, and the numbers are 43, 33, and 63. Field goals, 3 percentage, and free throws. I mean, pretty rotten, crummy numbers. But they hold Sacramento to 100 points. And I'm wondering, what's your take overall for the whole game? Was it just that Sacramento was playing dumb and took bad shots and just was off, or do you credit the Warriors for most of that, the fact that they beat them by that much, despite shooting that poorly?
I think there's a lot to say, but I think it's more credit to the Warriors than anything else. Here's what I would boil yesterday down to. It's two things. I do think, and you heard Mike Brown say it when he was mic'd up on the sideline, the Warriors out-hustled the Kings.
Definitely.
They wanted this more, which is crazy when you think about it.
That was crazy.
The team that has a bunch of rings wanted it more than the team that's never been there before. That's wild. But the Warriors out-hustled the Kings. The other thing I think, though, is that Game 7 brings weight. It's weight on people's shoulders, and shooting percentages go down. It's just kind of the norm. Remember the other week we brought up the Kemba Walker NCAA championship game. Like, when you get to the end, there is a lot of weight, there's a lot of attention, there's a lot of tension, and it becomes very difficult to shoot loose and shoot at a high percentage. And so I'm not surprised that it was a lower scoring game than normal. Think back to Kobe and the Lakers over the Celtics. What was the final score? 83-79 in a Game 7. It becomes difficult. Think of Game 7 Warriors and Cavs. Felt like for the last 3 minutes, it was just like, who's going to hit the three?
Yeah.
Who's going to accidentally have one fall in? And the answer ended up being Kyrie. It becomes difficult to shoot. And so numbers go down. And the Warriors took advantage of that because they out-hustled the Kings, and they had the only player on the floor who was on a heater.
Right, and the Kings' best player was definitely limited based on his finger, and then the role players did not play as well as they needed to play.
Or he was just off. I can't 100% say it was the finger.
I watched him lose the ball a few times with left-handed dribbles that I thought was finger-related. Now, he's not going to ever say anything about the finger, so I'm not going to give him that excuse because he didn't take that excuse, but just from watching it, he did not look to be the same player as he did in games 1 through 3, where we talked about it on the show. Yeah. He was unguardable in the mid-range.
He was the best player on the floor.
Without a doubt. Yeah. And then you look yesterday at the role players, and I don't want to come down Mike Brown's road too hard, but I don't think that his rotations yesterday did them any favors in terms of, all of a sudden, Davion Mitchell,
the Mitchell
8
thing
minutes.
That's very curious.
And Terrence Davis was on an absolute heater.
Right, but what did he give up at the other end? Like, people forget that stuff. Like, this should actually be the advanced plus-minus stat. Like, it's great that you hit 3 threes, Davis.
He had 4.
Yeah, the guy you were guarding scored 50. So that, in my math, is minus 38. Okay? Now, I know he wasn't guarding Steph by himself.
Sure.
I know that was all over the place, so I'm partially kidding.
And he rode with Kevin Huerter too much. Kevin Huerter had a bad series.
Mitchell is their best defensive player, and the Warriors in the second half, Steph got on one, and I think you're supposed to put Mitchell in the game and say, go stop him. I don't know that he would have, but yeah, I'm with you. I would have tried if I were Mike Brown.
You try something, because what he did was not working, and he did have Sabonis on the bench for a long time, and that didn't work, and Alex Len never played at all after having played earlier in the series. It just felt like Mike Brown got a little stuck yesterday.
I do think Len got in for a little bit of what I called soccer time. Which was the last 4 minutes of the game. Jonathan in the city. Hey, Jonathan, you're on with Willard and Dibs. What are you doing?
Just watching the clouds roll in and fill up the sky. It looks like rain's coming, boy.
I know, man. It's all cold again. It's only going to be for a week, though. We're going to have a little week to remind us of winter, and then it's going to get warm again. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're looking for a word, and I say masterpiece, man. It's like the aliens landed on the Bay Area and asked, hey, somebody needs to step up and make us a meal that's going to be worth saving you guys from total annihilation. And Steph Curry, the chef, step up. And you know what he did? He dropped a masterpiece. It was like a 7-course meal worth 5-star Michelin grade worth, And the most impressive part about Steph Curry dropping the 50 is that he only shot 5 free throws. Hey, guys, I've been watching this sport since the early 80s. Most superstars, all superstars, would need to shoot about 15 to 20 free throws for them to score that much points.
Yep.
And just the efficiency and the deadliness as an offensive weapon that Steph Curry is, I think it's unmatched. Because, like I said, all the superstars, he's the only one who doesn't need to shoot all those free throws for him to drop 50. And that's the greatness of Steph Curry.
Jonathan, we said it earlier. I want every one of you out there, if you find some silly hot take artist at work or one of your family members or some jabroni texts you and goes, everybody's giving Steph all this credit. He had to shoot the ball 38 times to score his 50. If they do that, you fire right back with what you just said, Jonathan. He only hit 3 free throws in the game. You score 50. Normally, you got to go 15, 20 free throw makes in order to do that. Steph had 3. He scored 47 points on made buckets and shot north of 50%. So that's your response if anybody comes up with their adorable little hot take.
He made 20 of their 43 made field goals.
Yep.
So in terms of his impact, it felt like he had about 60 or 65. He had 20 makes, and Andrew had 5, Kevon and Clay 4 apiece, Draymond 3, Poole 3, Moses 2. He had no help.
It's actually an easy calculus. Give me one player not named Curry who shot the ball yesterday on either team.
Who shot the ball?
And shot the ball well.
And made his shots?
Shot the ball well.
Come on, Looney. Yeah.
Okay, there you
and
go.
It's, hopefully we get a chance to track down Kevon today.
3 for 4.
4 for 5.
4 for 5.
Put some respect on that teardrop.
My bad.
But I think the longest shot he took was maybe 2 feet, maybe a 3-footer.
Maybe.
But that's what Kevon does. Kevon goes 4 of 5.
How did he make some free throws?
3 of 5 from the line.
Babe, I'll take that.
10 offensive rebounds. 11 defensive rebounds, 4 dimes, 4 personal fouls. Who cares? 11 points, 21 rebounds, a double-double for the ages. Hello, friends.
Yeah.
And
I actually think that should be called a triple-double.
When you have offensive, defensive rebounding.
No, the rebounds are enough where you cut them in half. They're still doubles. So that's 2.
Well, when you have double-digit offense and defensive rebounds, I'm with you.
There you go. You get 10 offensive rebounds and then
11 defensive rebounds
and
11 points.
Yeah, triple-double. Done.
Draymond Green with a classic triple-single, of which he has authored many a triple-sing.
999?
No, he had 8, 8, and 6.
Okay.
8, 8, and 6.
Fine.
No blocks, but a couple of steals. And Draymond was typically sturdy on defense. Just one more quick note.
Yeah.
One postscript as I do my Bryant Gumbel from tonight on Real Sports. You didn't think I did a Bryant Gumbel?
It's good. It's a little too high, but it's good.
Oh, that's part of the bit.
The character is there. Yeah.
On Real Sports.
Now it got even higher.
It's a little Kermit the Frog mixed with Bryant Gumbel.
All right, anyway.
Harrison Barnes, free agent, 13 and a half minutes. Night.
Yeah.
He doesn't come back. If you're a veteran, if you're a veteran of this level, you're a champion, and you're in a Game 7 against your former team, and you get 13 and a hook.
Yeah, well,
Harrison
Barnes in the playoffs is starting to build a resume that's not the kind that you want. It'll be interesting, though.
He was all right yesterday.
The Kings have financial room. The question I guess I'd have about Harrison Barnes for them is the role that he's played on that team is elder statesman. He's the guy who's been to the playoffs. He's been to the promised land. He can help them with all that. Well, do they need that anymore? Because now they've had this experience. Granted, it was only one round, but they took on the champs, and they took this all the way into the second half of Game 7. And De'Aaron Fox has certainly shown himself to be a guy who can handle everything that you're throwing at him. So I wonder if they want Harrison Barnes. I wonder what Harrison will command on the market.
I don't think he'll command what he got last time, but he had 15 minutes in Game 6, 14 minutes in Game 7. That to me is very telling in terms of, if you're Mike Brown and you're looking at a must-win, double must-win, as Game 7 was, and you have your elder statesman, who's not that elder, by the way, he's your veteran, he's your starter. At small forward, he's your linchpin, and he gets 14 minutes?
Well, look, it's Game 7. The benches get real short.
But he's a starter.
I know. But you go with but Monk is a more important player than Harrison Barnes. So that's kind of like, Jordan Poole was a starter in games 3, 4, 5, whatever.
Yeah.
But you're not going to use him in the end. You're going to grab your 5, and we're going with that. The Warriors did the exact same thing, right? So let's go to Vince in San Jose. Hey, Vince, what are you doing? All right, turn Vince down. Vince was all excited to hear himself on the radio, is what happened there. So
you got to wait 7 seconds, Vince.
Yeah.
You finish your call, then you turn it up, and you catch the tail end.
Right. Or you could have somebody else pull out their phone and record it for you.
Or you have the Odyssey app, and you know that it's all on demand and it's free.
All of that
YouTube,
stuff. Yeah. YouTube. That's right. Yeah, you can just scroll back on YouTube and listen to it later. That's all you had to do.
I was catching the boys this morning on the tube. Baby girl was on her playmat, and so I went in the kitchen quickly, and I was like, I got to listen to the roast. He had monster numbers on YouTube.
Oh,
today.
yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Record numbers,
Hell
bro.
yeah. Hell yeah. Game 7.
Yeah, baby.
50 burger. And yes, I saw that whole conversation online. Our good buddy Rod Brooks.
Right.
Like, why is it called a burger? And I'm like, because burgers are delicious and so are 50-point games. And then I said, actually, I have no idea why anybody
that's
calls
a
it a 50
great
burger,
question.
even though I do it. I call it a 50
Yes.
burger. I use the emoji, the burger
With
emoji.
the burger emoji.
Yeah.
It's funny because I
I
actually
don't know.
weighed in after you on the same thread, and I said 40's a piece.
It is.
And 50's a burger.
Does anyone
And
say?
I don't know why.
No, yeah, I've known that no one's ever said 40 burger, or have they?
Maybe.
I think you're right. It's a 50
But to me,
burger.
it's a 40 piece,
40 piece.
and it's a 50 burger.
What's 30? Just 30.
30's, I mean, nowadays, it's like decent day at the office.
Average day is what
I'm
it
gonna eat
is.
it.
Yeah.
right.
60's a sandwich, I think. You can put a 60 sandwich on them.